I just thought I'd put a small video together. A couple of people have asked me to share some of the small stories I have with Cardiff City legend and former neighbour of mine, Peter Whittingham. And today's a grim day, and all my thoughts go with Amanda and all her family. And Penarth is an absolutely fantastic place to raise a family, and the community really pulls together during some hard times. And I'm sure the community there will be able to help the Whittingham family through such a difficult period. As a Cardiff City fan, he was my favourite ever player. A £250,000 pound plus 100,000, I think, with add-ons. So it was £350,000 pound purchase from Aston Villa all them years ago, and I don't think there's ever been such a bargain in modern day football. I really don't. The one goal which really, well, it's two goals really that shone out. The first one was when we were all up in Middlesbrough on a shitty cold Sunday midday, I think, kickoff, or 2 o'clock maybe. It was FA Cup quarter-final, and Whittingham put us through to Wembley, because Wembley hosts now the semi-finals in the FA Cup these days. So a fantastic Whittingham strike got us a 1-0 win up in Middlesbrough to send us to the semi-finals. And anyone who's been there, or anyone who's watching it, probably agree that's probably the best strike or best Whittingham goal in a Cardiff City shirt. Another one that comes to mind is the semi-final playoff first game against Leicester, where he bent it round the corner. Some of the goals, I look back today, and some of the goals, absolutely incredible, and for a team like Cardiff City to have such a player with such a wonderful left foot who remained loyal. Just remember that, he remained loyal. I personally believe that the club now should surrender the number 7 shirt, or retire the number 7 shirt. To keep the memory of Peter Whittingham always in the minds of every single Cardiff City fan. Okay, a few stories, isn't it? Right. Well, first of all, the first one, the earliest story I can remember, was that in Penarth, down the seafront, there's a little Italian there, a little Italian restaurant, and it's a very small kind of waiting area. It only has about 4 or 5 different seats. So me and my now ex-wife, but me and my partner at the time went there, and because we were early, we had to, wait for our table. And in the waiting room was Peter and his partner. So me and Peter just got talking about football. And the chat went on and on and on, and we were just in our own little world. Because the thing was with Peter Whittingham is that he has no ego, absolutely no ego regarding football. You could see him, you could bump into him in local supermarket, in the local town centre, in the street, and he'd have time for anybody. He'd have time for anybody, he'd chat to anybody, and he loved talking about football. So me and him, on that evening, me and him were just talking. And finally, our tables, because we were on separate tables, obviously, our tables were ready. So the waiter comes over and starts and calls us, to come and be seated. So our partners then go off to the walk towards the individual tables. But me and him were so engrossed in our conversation that we completely forgot, which was much to the annoyance of our partners, if I'm honest with you. It did bring... it did... You could see my ex-partner with steam coming out of her ears. That brought, that brought a little smile. The next one, which is probably the most memorable, because it was brought up during the conversation during the time I last seen him as well, was it was pissing down with rain, absolutely pissing down with rain, and I went out to the car, and I had a puncture, and I get all the nuts off. I was on the floor trying to get all the nuts off, and the wheel still couldn't get off. I still couldn't pull the wheel off. So Peter was pushing a pram, and because it was pissing down, he was in a rush to get home. So I said, "Oh, Peter, you couldn't do me a favour, could you? You couldn't help me try and get this wheel off?" He turned around and he said, "I can't, I got a baby." Which was fair enough, I freaking wouldn't either. But the very next second, I pulled the wheel off again. And as I pulled the wheel off, the bloody car jack gave way. And the car just bang hit the floor. Where he started laughing. The steam was I was going red. Steam coming out my ears. In the end, I had to phone in at the RAC or AA, whichever recovery service it was. But yeah, I look back now and I laugh at that moment. I do laugh at that moment. And then, let's say, the last time I seen him was just over 12 months ago, because I live in Spain now. And I bumped into him in Cardiff Airport. And I didn't realise actually until we went to departures that we were actually on the same flight, and then so we still talking every now and then, as you go into the departure lounge and in the gate and so on, and then all of a sudden, we found out we were sitting next to each other basically. Or I was one row behind though, and the child, as the flight continues, the air stewardesses couldn't do enough for them, bringing over toys, bringing over, just to make the flight as comfortable as possible for the child, which obviously was so helpful, for Peter and Amanda. But a conversation going on, and I was like, "What are you playing for now then, Pete?" He said, "Oh, I haven't got a club." And because he was so like interested about my life over in Spain now. But, you know, I turned around and said, well, you know, when you're over here, you could, you know, could start talks in Malaga or Marbella or somewhere. he glanced at his wife and gave me a cheeky smile, which basically said no fucking chance. But I suppose that I don't really know what else to say. Apart from the other day, I was absolutely horrified that I done a social media condolence post because now I'm over here, social media is my main communication with back home. And one of the newspapers put a story out that he passed away before he actually did. I'm actually horrified, but I done a condolence post before, you know, after reading that, and I'd like to publicly apologise to anyone who may have been offended by that. It was never meant to be, never meant to hurt anybody. It was just a misunderstanding, I'm told, between the club, Cardiff City, and the media reporter at the time who ran the paper, and it's just unfortunate, man, that my condolence post went viral. I never meant to harm anybody, and I really hope people understand that. Anyway, I'm sure many other people have got many better stories to talk about, but I just wanted to share, you know, just to share the type of person he was, the type of genuine human being and personality and character he was, that the football world, if the football world had 10 million Peter Whittinghams involved in it, it would be a far better industry. Anyway, I'm waffling on now. Once again, my heartfelt condolences to Amanda and the family. And Panarth, I got faith in you to help these guys through it. Take care.